first.
For our preliminary task, we were given a brief which consisted of making a short film with continuity editing, a short conversation, an opening door, whilst experimenting camera techniques, but keeping to the 180-degree rule.
For this task, we were able to choose the genre of the piece as well as the costume and props. However, some restrictions were that we had to film in school, which in turn restricted our costume.
When filming our preliminary task, we were able to rely on the previous filming experience which we'd done in Wilderness Woods, as well as a script which we decided on the basis of fulfilling the brief.
Our narrative was that a seemingly normal man was sitting in a room, minding his own business, when suddenly another guy comes in who's wearing very dark clothes, so seemingly the bad guy, and he says there's something he wants from this other guy, like in a certain soul or spiritual way, and the other guy gets a bit scared and tries to get away from the other man. The villain gives chase and eventually catches up to the protagonist and then gets his way, basically.
However, some of the problems we faced was the lack of shots, which then led to a lack of continuity editing whilst keeping a fast cut rate. And due to the location being inside the school, there was a very limited storyline.
However, there were some positives we could take from the preliminary task. One such being the soundtrack, which the running scene, the sound for that fit really well, and the tense music for the suspenseful filming at the beginning worked quite well too. The visual effect in the eyes worked a lot as well, and the running point of view shot also came out really good too.
For our film opening, we had to design a film opening conforming to either a thriller, horror, or teen genre.
We chose to film a thriller genre, which then led to a well-discussed script.
To overcome editing problems that we faced doing our preliminary task, we shot at a lot of different angles and distances from which we could choose from.
With no restriction on location present, we were able to deliver a much better storyline, for which we were able to use better actors as well.
Some camera techniques we kept from the preliminary task, such as the running point of view shot. However, this time we shot it from the antagonist's viewpoint, which made the scene easier to follow. And here is the running point of view shot from our film opening.
The titles that we used were big and blocky, so they're more noticeable, and they fit better in the thriller genre compared to, say, normal bubble writing, because normal bubble writing is curvy, which suggests something innocent and cute, whereas big sharp corners on the letters indicate something more sinister.
Another positive we can take from our production is our soundtrack, which is a mixture of melody tunes and sound effects, which complements our storyline fairly well.
Overall, the production of our film opening was successful, with very few problems occurring. However, the length of our whole scene was the main issue, because the storyline we came up with didn't really allow for enough to be filmed to fill a whole 2 minutes, so in the end it only came out as about a minute and a half.
A minute, 3/4.
Yeah, something like that.